Boys and girls, did you ever feel like you lost direction? Like you felt that you were lost? Can you raise your hand? I see some of us. Any adults ever feel like that? Of course, we all feel that sometimes. So I'm going to give you a little story today about someone who lost their direction and how they found it. And I hope that that might influence you to help you during this season of Lent to direct yourself more toward God. And I might ask you some questions, so be ready, okay? So there was a crossing guard. You know what a crossing guard is, right? They cross the children so that they don't get run over by a car or anything like that, any accidents that take place. So the crossing guard was just getting off duty, and she was just leaving, and she started walking toward her home. And on the corner, there was a little boy, and he was about maybe 6, 7 years old, and he was crying. So the crossing guard went up to him and said, "Why are you crying?" And the little boy said, "I can't find my way home. I don't know." So she said, "Well, do you remember your address?" And he said, "No, I don't remember the numbers." "So do you remember anything," she asked, "do you remember anything about what's around your house?" And he says, "Yes, I do." He told him, "There's a tree by my house." Well, is that helpful to find her? Why isn't that helpful? Because there's trees everywhere, right? So we're just going to go through the whole neighborhood, right? So the crossing guard then said, "Well, is there something else that might identify your house?" So the little boy said, "A stop sign." Now, is that going to be helpful to get you home? Why not?
Because there's stop signs everywhere.
There are stop signs like every other corner, right? So a lot of different places you can go. So she said to him, is there anything that you remember when you look out the window in your house? Do you see something? And he says, "Yes, I remember. I saw something it's like this." You know what that is? A cross, right, a cross. So the crossing guard said, "Oh, that's a cross. So you live across the street from the church, from St. John's Church. So I'll take you there." So he was able to take the little boy to the church, and he was able to see the stop sign. He was able to see the tree, and he was able to identify where he lived. So the crossing guard helped him to go home. Boys and girls, the season of Lent is the time when God calls us to come home, to come back. And he gives us different ways of doing that through prayer, through sharing our resources with one another, and by fasting. Those are the tools, the instruments of Lent that help us draw closer and closer to God. So as we celebrate Mass today, I hope that you might remember this story and always remember that God is calling and challenging us to come closer and closer to the great divine presence. And by doing that, we will become better people, and we will be able to contribute to society in a positive way.
Thank you for participating in this production of our virtual Mass. Your presence means so much, Every day, so many parishioners connect to OLPH through the digital ministry. The digital ministry is one of almost 80 ministries supported by the parish. That's why your support of the parish is crucial, so we can continue to have the resources to fund all of our ministries that touch the lives of many. Thank you for watching, continue to watch, and thanks again for your support.